If you have been into software industry for a while, then you might have faced some issue of how can I process a big chunk of data without any issue or without any problem. Or maybe you have spent some days or maybe hours thinking what are the best technologies that I can use to process this kind of data, or maybe to add to my application that process a big chunk of data, and that application will continue working without any problem no matter what the size of data is. In this series, we are going to go or deep dive into Apache Kafka. What is Kafka, the Kafka ecosystem, and how can we use Kafka to process messages. Kafka is an event-driven platform in which you have publishers and subscribers, or you have producers and consumers. The event-driven platform, or you can think of it like a kind of messaging platform in which you produce messages and then you have other clients waiting for these messages to process. So Kafka is an event-driven platform that enable PubSub or publishers and subscribers to exchange messages without too much of effort. Integrating Kafka into your application will really speed up and enable that application to continue working without too much of overhead. Let's go into it. Kafka for itself, or I can say the Kafka ecosystem really that we are going to deep dive into, start from the Kafka brokers themselves to the like the Zookeeper Ansibles, and to the clients such as the producers and consumers. This what makes up Kafka itself. These are the basic ecosystem of Kafka, and we will go into how to use them, what are they, and how can you use them efficiently, or what is even the message in Kafka. So the unit of data in Kafka is actually message. You send a message, you receive a message. But how is this message, or how does it look like? In Kafka, a message is nothing than a byte array of whatever you send. It doesn't translate into anything from Kafka perspective. So you are just sending a message, but before that message reach into Kafka, this message is nothing than byte array. And also, while Kafka is moving or giving or pushing the message to the consumer, it pushes byte array. So unit of data in Kafka is a message, and a message in Kafka is just a byte array. And a message with a key, Kafka has a different way of dealing with that thing. We will come into it. But messages can also have keys, and both the message and the keys are nothing in Kafka than byte array. Okay, how can we send, or how do we send this kind of data then to Kafka? Kafka has some supported schemas in which they are human readable schemas. The developer or engineer or client will use these schemas to create the messages or the information that needs to be delivered to Kafka. And then this information will be serialized. So for example, Kafka supports a JSON schema. when you have your message in JSON, this JSON message is being serialized and then pushed onto Kafka. So in your client, that is the publisher or the producer, you provide also the serialization, key and message serialization classes. This class will serialize the information into the given format and then send it to Kafka. Kafka also supports XML. The XML, which is also one of the popular schema that you can use to also send your messages to Kafka. So you can use both JSON and XML. But before that, you have to provide a serialization class for both the key and message. Then this message will be serialized and sent to Kafka. Also, the consumer or the client from the other end that will take this message and process it has to be aware of the both the key and message serialization classes, so that it will be able to convert that byte array of data into the specified schema for further processing. Also, Kafka supports the Apache Avro. The Apache Avro is a row-oriented remote procedure code or a data serialization framework that is a lot of work, and it can also be used to generate message for Kafka, both from the producer and the consumer. We will go deep into this message schemas and also other parts of Kafka, and we will look into how to use these schemas in real world application. So in our next video, we will look into topics. What are Kafka topics and how can we use Kafka topic, or what are the in and out of Kafka topic. So until then, I hope this video will benefit someone out there.